Okay, so one of the things I was wanting to talk today, I've always been interested in this geo farming stuff, but it's always seems like it's so difficult to find numbers on it. Everybody's got like a plan and a thing, but they never talk about like how much money they spend, how many leads they get. You just don't see that very much. So I ran across a case study of a girl. She's in Phoenix, Arizona. So it really just breaks it down here. Her 2021 results. She's been in the business for 18 years. She had 82 transactions. Volume was 45,700,000. GCI was 860,000. 2022. Well, it's actually only gives the 6 months. So that kind of gives you an idea. 82 transactions, that's a full year, 45,860 in GCI. But here's the number breakdown I think is kind of interesting. Okay, so it has the number of homes in her farm is 1,526. Percentage of 2021 transactions from Geo Farm, 53%. So if you remember back, she did 82 transactions. So you figure that she had 53% of it from a Geo Farm. There's a good chance that she probably did referrals and other stuff that came from those transactions. Here's the interesting number. Monthly cost of direct mail, community events, and other pieces of what she did in the community was $3,100 a month. And her return on investment was 11 times what she's invested in. So I think that's good just to see that breakout. She's got 1,526 homes in her. She did 53% of her transactions from her Geo Farm. She spent $3,100 a month, and she got 11 times return on it. Sweet. So, what did she do? What did she do? What did she send out? Okay, one thing that she did is she did a print newsletter that was delivered like EDDM. Just went to every, as you guys know, who've done EDDM, it just goes to every mailbox. They just put it in. So she did a newsletter, and she always put a coupon that was part of the newsletter so they wouldn't throw it away. And her coupons are kind of interesting because like she'll do like a coupon like you get a free scoop of ice cream at the local ice cream store from Saturday from 1 to 6 or whatever. So she tries to incorporate local businesses around her place there. And then she does a postcard with a QR code once a month. And a postcard, if I go back here and I look at it, it's a lot like the postcards that we talk about. It's like, the Neil Costello Group is raising home values in Central West End, curious about the current home value at your address. And then it's got a QR code. It's got a picture of her, just a simple postcard. She also sends out a market report for the month. So, it says my internet is unstable. Can you guys hear me?
It's
yeah,
a little janky.
Okay. So let's just go back on this because a lot of us have talked about newsletters. I know Neil, you talked about it. I know Sean does one. Everybody does a little bit different. I know Joe, you've got a magazine that goes out. So it's just, but I like the big deal that I got out of that was the coupon piece, having the coupon of something so they don't throw it away. And then her postcard is basically a home review. Okay, so then she does her in-person events, which is kind of interesting. She will, first of all, if anybody moves into her neighborhood, regardless if she took care of the transaction or not, whether she was the buyer or seller, she will send them a welcome package And it's got I mean, it obviously has got a landing page and stuff for them to land on her, but it's got a info on utilities, things to do in the community, and coupons for local restaurants. She said that the thing that she gets, the biggest thing where 9 out of 10 homes that she goes into is a magnet. And the magnet is a listing of all the bulk trash pickup dates. How interesting is that? Who would have thought that that would be the thing that everybody would save? So it's, I guess when you have a bunch of trash, it has certain dates that you can, do you guys have that in your neighborhood?
Mm.
Where you have big trash, bulk trash days? Yeah,
We do
Yep,
okay.
I do.
our annual garage sales here too, and kind of a lot of different things that we have going on here.
I guess I mean, I guess that's something that people are interested in though. She said that that was something that people saved. Let's see, what else did she do that? What I thought was interesting about this, there's nothing that she does that is like, here's her coupon. Want to buy you some ice cream, March 20th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So it's a neighborhood appreciation. So she's just buying ice cream for everybody. I don't know how much that would cost, but she's being known for it.
Hey Brent, can I add something about that ice cream? You
Yeah.
can rent the local ice cream truck and go through your neighborhood, and you can select the ice cream bars or whatever that you want to hand out. So you might want to take off that expensive top and just certain ones, but you let them know ahead of time that you'll be driving through, and you could ride in the ice cream truck with them and hand that out.
That's a great idea. Yeah. I like that. She's big on 2 different things. She actually has seasonal home parties. She
Mm.
invites the neighbors over. Kind of like what you did, Neil,
Yeah, right.
when you had your kind of welcome coming out party that you were a agent. I think that's a really good idea.
Mhm.
Seasonal home party, you know, I'm the local person here. You're getting stuff from me every month. Meet me again. Come over for, you know, appetizers and drinks. I mean, that's a great idea. It's pretty simple, really. If that's your in her area, her geo farming area is where she lives, which is smart a lot of times, if you know it better than anybody else. And then she hosts a monthly happy hour interest group at our community center. So
Oh.
I'm not sure what that is. It doesn't say what it is, but it's a happy hour in there, kind of like what you're talking about, Kay, that you've got like a place probably around the pool that you can rent. And it says happy hour interest group. So maybe they have a topic that they discuss that is worth coming to and having a happy hour. But you can see by what she's doing, all she's doing is putting herself top of mind in her 1,500, you know, place or neighborhood. Different ways, QR codes, you know, giving them a home review, giving them a newsletter, and then having those seasonal happy hours, and then giving a coupon away so that the other thing that she did in here, she's got like a thing that's called Sunday Hustle. So she's created, I guess it's like a deal where you've got like, what's that thing called that's neighborhood, where the neighborhood people get on there and talk?
Next door.
Next door. I guess it's something like that. Maybe it's her private Facebook page that people join to, but they can promote their business and talk about it. So she has that once a month where it's called Sunday Hustle, and you can talk about what you do and if anybody needs my services type of thing that live in the neighborhood. Still not a bad idea. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I will send that to anybody who wants it. Just text me or email me. But it's something that she does every year. It looks like she's got good results from it. You know, $45 million, 53% of it coming from doing her geo farming where she lives. And I think a lot of it is, if you think about how she does this, it's the commitment to paying for it too. You know,
Mhm.
she's committed to, I'm going to do this. And now she knows the answers to the test before the test. She knows she gets 11 to 12 times back from it, from her investment. So that doesn't make her quite as nervous and twitchy to spend $3,000 if she knows she's going to get that back. So something to think about. Something else to think about, guys. We haven't gotten together for a while, so I thought it might be good to go back to some of the things that I do when we switch quarters, since we've kind of already switched quarters. I'm not putting this out there for you to answer. I'm putting this out there for you to jumpstart your brain, because we went from Q1, Q2, and I'm assuming that everybody kind of had an idea what they wanted to do in Q1, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
When going into the first of the year, did everybody kind of have an idea? Well, if I do this in the first quarter, I'd be pretty happy with myself. Anybody kind of have that in their mind?
Right.
Yep.
Like if I do this many deals, or if I contact this, okay, Joe, you did, Mike, Neil, Kay. Okay, so that's what we're getting back to here is how does where we're at now represent what we've done already this year? So I pulled out this thing that I've had, it's in this folder, and it's broken down into high-level questions, goals versus reality. Are you following your plan, finding your personal metrics, and important questions to have framed in your office? Okay, so I'm just going to go through these here and just kind of get you thinking. All right, just think, feel the vibe, feel it. All right, here we go. First one is don't forget where we started from. The genesis of this is, why are you doing this? Why are you doing it? That's number one. Sometimes we forget that. So if you've forgotten why you're doing it, go back to what was I, what am I doing? Why do I get up every morning? Why do I get coffee? Why do I run through all this stuff that I do on my routine? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And did it change? Did my why change? If it changed, then that might change your whole gear shift of what you're doing for the rest of the year. Number two, what's your role? What is it? What does that mean? What's your role? Because we talk about that sometimes. What does that mean? Like, means, are you functioning as a real estate agent, or are you functioning as a CEO of your company? So it's really important, because it's so easy for us to fall into being a doer instead of running your company. And a lot of times that's when we get kind of sidetracked, because when we're running our company or when we're doing tasks, we forget to manage ourselves as a CEO. And I think that's one of the toughest things in the world of sales, of managing yourself. So think about that. What's your role? Are you being the CEO of your company? And are you just being a real estate agent, getting up and just hitting it and starting over the next day and riding the roller coaster? Okay, number three. In the first quarter, going into the second quarter, did you make enough money to achieve your why? So that's just something to balance out. Okay, I kind of thought I was going to do this in first quarter. I'm trying to pay for the kids' college. I'm trying to buy some investment property. I'm trying to fix up the kitchen and the whatever. I'm trying to have money to spend, trying to get a new wardrobe, whatever the hell it is. Did you make enough money in the first quarter to match what you thought you were going to do? Okay. So that kind of gets you the high level questions. Am I in the world of being on the right track? Make sense? What's my why? What's my role? Did I make enough money to what I said I was going to do? Okay, goals versus reality. This is one I like. Very simple. And if we're not tracking this, please start tracking it from this day forward. Units closed versus units, units closed versus goal of units closed. So if you had a goal in the first quarter, I'm going to close 2 a month. Did you do it? Versus your goal. Volume versus goal volume. Did you do it? Did you exceed it? GCI versus goal GCI. Where are you at? Close? Over? Under? Look at it. Because it's really important right now to say, okay, I'm exceeding my units sold of what I said I was going to do the first quarter. I'm going into the second quarter. That's fantastic. What in the world did I do? How did I get there? Same with volume, same with GCI. Here's an important number that maybe we track and maybe we don't track, but it's an important thing to track because it helps you kind of balance out everything else. What's your average price per listing? Just add up the total number of all your listings you sold, divide it by the number of listings. Just do the same thing with buyers. That gives you a good average of where you are in the world and what you're going to be able to plan out for your second, third, fourth quarter. It'll give you a baseline. Okay. So let's go to the next big headline. Are you following your plan? How many people on here say that they have a plan somewhere like, this is my plan? Yeah. I know Mike does. He's got his branding right behind him. That's planned. That's not an accident. Okay, so let's go. Question number 8. Are you using all the lead sources you said you would on your business plan? Good time to think about that one. What lead sources did I say I was going to use? Which ones did I think were kind of fancy cool, but I'm not? Need to get back to it. Okay, which lead sources are you underutilizing? Have you put in place the systems you wanted to by Q2? That's a good question, isn't it? So there's usually when you're starting out, especially in sales, you're gearing up, November, December, boom, landed, parachuted down, taking over the field. I'm going to do this. Have you implemented it? And if you haven't, it's okay. The year's not even close to being over. The year's not even half over. Okay. And what ways do you need to adjust your plan to catch up to where you want to be by Q3? And the final question, are you following your plan? Number 12, expenses versus income. Are you staying in the right range? Are you tracking it? You know, are you tracking it? Like, what are you spending? Mike's laughing. Mike, what are you laughing about?
What income? What is this that you were speaking of, Brent?
just tracking expenses then, Mike.
I'm just trying to pay my taxes.
That's good.
I'm working for Uncle Sam right now. I'm on his nickel.
That's motivating, isn't it? Okay, so here's a one. I think this is the next big headline. Finding your personal metrics. Okay. It says, how many conversations did you have? Are we tracking conversations? Like conversations to try to get appointments. I'm not talking about, hey, what's up? But are we tracking conversations where we're trying to get an appointment with somebody? Because the top people here, I have the Tom Ferry people, they took the top 8 questions, 8 coaches, and they all talked about very few of the people who aren't doing very well track this number, but the ones that are doing really well do track this number. They actually track their metric of how many people they talk to how many people does it take for them to get an appointment. And from the appointment, how many actually go to close. And it's a 1, 2, 3 punch. And it kind of shows you where you are in the metric system of how good you are from getting to conversation, to getting to appointment, to getting to a close. So if you're not tracking that, start thinking about tracking that because it'll give you a metric to track. How many appointments did you take from these conversations? Number 15, how many conversations does it take to you to get an appointment? I don't know. There's no way of knowing unless you actually start tracking that on a daily basis. But I think it's a good thing to track because it gives you a baseline of if I'm going to spend time talking to somebody on the phone, or if I'm going to send text messages, or if I'm going to do whatever to make an approach with somebody, it makes me feel better if I know by every 7th or 8th one I'm going to get an appointment out of it, as opposed to I'm just swimming in the ocean of nothingness, hoping to get an appointment. To me, I would really feel better about the fact that I know my metrics are, if I have one more conversation, my metrics fall in line. Okay, and let's see. What is the last? Okay, what do you need to stop doing and leave behind in Q2? That's a good question. Like, obviously, what was working? Like, what went well for Q1, and how can you do more of it? And now the second question is what do you need to stop doing and leave behind? Those are the busy tactic things that get you down into, you know where that is. Get you in the ditch, can't get out, can't do what you want to do. And then the last question is, are you getting enough support of what you're trying to do, what you need? I don't know the answer to that, but you guys are here, so that's a good thing.
I noticed that not many people at all like join these Zoom meetings from my office or in this town. I seem to be the only one that hop on here in time to time, but yeah, we don't really have any Zoom meetings or any meetings here. So I try to gather as much information and kind of put it all together to kind of try to help my business grow. So I'm now starting to call expireds that didn't sell with other agents. And I've had a couple of appointments from that. I had to call like 150 people the past few days to get one listing appointment, but it works. So if I keep steady at that, I think I'll get somewhere with it.
Yeah, did you say you called 150 expireds?
Yeah, you have to call steady to finally get an appointment set up, because sometimes they're at work and they don't answer their phone or they hang up on you. But you have to learn to deal with rejection and have objections for the sellers. So to even just get them to say, okay, I'll meet you at this time, let's talk, if they don't want to do a Zoom, or at least you're getting somewhere, and hopefully you're going to get them to let you help them sell their property.
Yeah. I think that's amazing that you had 150 expireds in Washington.
No. I pull the expireds for the whole area, Washington, and the areas of that Maris covers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was.
Washington doesn't have that.
I applaud you for that task, Jamie. And you did get an appointment out of it.
I do, and hopefully it goes well. But that's what I'm going to do when I get off of here. I'm going to start making some more phone calls, and I notice at the end of the month is when a lot of expires happen. So by the time the first rolls around, you're going to get more chances. So that's something I'm working on.
I was wanting to throw out before we leave, guys, I'm always looking for things that you can do with your database, or you can create more people in your database. I ran across it's a simple idea, but I think it would be a good one, especially if you're doing something. Well, I mean, we've talked about this before. The people who have a lot of equity in the market right now are the seniors. You know, they're and a lot of them are thinking about going from a big house to a smaller house. So this person that I was reading about, they put on seminars, and the seminar title is create senior. It's for seniors, and it's called Going from Big to Small: Downsizing Strategies. And the idea of it is she has people that work with this environment and this arena of how to downsize and the strategies of doing that. And that's not a bad idea, because that the opportunities of people who come to that event, of seniors who are looking to go from big to small, and you have like an event, and doesn't have to be big. Maybe you get 20 people there. What if you got more than that? Like, what if you got 50 people or whatever? Think about what you'd be able to do with that database of people that you all know are interested in selling their homes from going from big to small, and you're being the resource to help them do that. Am I the only one that thinks that's cool?
No, I like it. I like it. So Brent, I think there's a lot of people too that own two houses.
Yeah.
You know, like they have a vacation home and another home. And
Right.
those are people that, man, they could make a huge profit right now by selling that second home.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The other thing I ran across was, I was thinking this is a good idea, because like, it's when everything is really good, you have the for sale sign and it has a sold on it.
Mhm.
Shoot a quick video in front of that sold sign. Talk about the quick story of how it happened, why you're excited about it, how you were able to help the family. You don't have to use their name. You just tell the quick story about, you know, obviously they can see right behind you that you sold it. And it's a good time to play on that momentum and use it. And I'm a much bigger fan of just not taking a picture of you in front of a sold sign, but I want to know how you helped them. I want to know why would I want to work with you? Are you the personality that I fit with? That type of thing. That's why I think that's good. And the third thing that I had, that I think, I was just going through my old files and I ran across this again because it was one of these case study things. How do you stand out with people who are giving you referrals, or who have been in your business of you've done business finding them homes or listing their homes? I like this idea of sending a birthday cake on their birthday. I just think that really stands out. I mean, these people send a whole bunch of birthday cakes because they're really doing a lot of business. But, you know, if you think about it, if you've got, you know, you did 20 transactions, 15 transactions, 10 transactions, yeah, that's a number, but it probably wouldn't break you to do it. But I think about the standout value of it. I mean, it could even be a miniature cake, but something that stands out like that. It's your birthday. You know, it's a birthday. They probably don't get very many things like that. It's personal. It stands out. I don't know. I thought maybe it makes sense.
I like it.
Just throwing it out there.
I was
Making
gonna
bunt cakes
other
is a
thing-
great thing too. That little
What'd you
bunt,
say, Lynn?
those little bunt cakes.
I'll
you
remember
know,
that
yeah,
about you.
they're
You must
not-
like
It
that.
doesn't have to be expensive, you know. I like it.
Remember,
I think it's a
Lynn
great
likes the
idea.
monk cakes.
I like it.
Lynn likes, yeah, she likes those.
Yeah.
The other thing that was part of that deal of working with your referrals, working with the people you've done in your database, is find out what they really like, what's of interest to them, or something that they haven't done that they want to do. Like, you know, like Lynn's always wanted to jump out of an airplane. You know, let her jump out of an airplane.
No, not so much.
but offer them an experience of some sort, whether it's a closing gift or something that they remember you by. Maybe not jumping out of an airplane, but something along those lines, that you know that they like it, you know that it's a personal connection, that you were listening to them through the process. I think these closing gift things are a much bigger deal. That's the only reason I'm talking about. I just think they're a bigger deal in this market for you to be memorable, top of mind when they're giving referrals and thinking about people in the market, because the market's so narrowed to what inventory is on there. So you doing things that become memorable, I think I don't know. There's not a downside to that, I don't think.
I love the referral idea, Brent. I think it's a great idea.
And, and everything you do, make sure that you're branding yourself. I know, Neil, you've got a really cool logo. Kay, you've got a really cool logo. Joe, you're branded through your Joe's Homes Hacks. Obviously, Hill, yeah, right behind Mr. Mike Hill. Make sure there is something to, I heard this statistic about, in St. Louis, the Johnny Londa Chevrolet. Well, they did a study on that for a car commercial in St. Louis, side by side. First of all, what do you think was the most known car business? When I ask you, Johnny Londoff. And so they did a thing on jingles, and they say that you're 72% more likely to remember a jingle than no jingle. Well, why in the hell aren't we doing jingles? Geez, especially in the car business, as many times as they do cars, 72%. Good God, I'd play those statistics all day long in Vegas.
Yeah.
Good
Hey, Brent,
Lord.
thank you. And here's my address.
Exactly. I own my building and lot. But the thing of it is when you do something that brands, people are going to remember it. Especially, I mean, I'm Brandon. I got Mike Hill right here. I mean, it is a thing. And, I think that, and the other thing that we talked about the other day, and Neil, you and I talked about this, make sure that you're using your whole team around yourself, so that when you're branding yourself, you're looking like you are the captain of the ship, and you're going to get them over the finish line with all your people. And we were even talking about, put BEK in there, put a moving company in there. Then there's your title company, then there's your mortgage company, and then there's whatever. It just makes you look like you are geared and ready for battle, and people will respond to that, because there's a lot of us out there, and there's very few homes. So I know I just went through a lot of stuff here, but we haven't met in a while. So I kind of wanted to throw the kitchen table fan at you guys for think of geo farming. These numbers are interesting.
Powerful.
And she's not having to do a lot. She's committed to, she's committed to it. So think about it. Think about these questions. If you guys want me to send you these questions to help yourself.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, just to jog your mind.
I'd like it, Brent. Thank you.
I'm gonna. Okay. And
Me as well, please.
all right, I'll just send it out to everybody. who's
Yeah,
on.
me too. I'm
Okay,
yeah,
Jose, you just got on. We were just finishing up.
Yeah, I apologize.
Anyone-
I had somebody unexpectedly walk into my office that I had to catch up with.
Well, yeah, that's why you need that lock on the door.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be funny. If it does, sarcasm falls on us, then it's awkward.
Funny.
Does anybody else have? Okay, so I'm going to send out all this to you guys. And if anybody gets started on this geo farming, let me know about it, because I'd like to help you with it, just to try out stuff. But I think the biggest thing on the geo farming was having coupons that people use so they don't throw away your stuff. That's what I took out of that whole thing, and that she stayed committed every month to do it. I think those are the two tricks on the geo farming. But if she gets 11 times her investment, again, take that to Vegas.
Right? Yeah.
All right, guys.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Stuff.
Thanks for being here.
I'm anxious
Thanks,
to
Brent.
see
That was
you.
good. Thank you,
Thank you,
Brent.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Brent. Sorry again, guys, that I was really late.
But thanks for getting on, Jose. See,
Missed it all,
yeah.
Jose.
Yeah, but the good thing is we're recorded, so I'll be listening to it.
Okay.
We are, all right.
See you guys.
See you, everybody.